Sorry.
Okay, I think we're good.
Nobody
I think
moved
we're
the
all
table.
prepared. Thank you all for bearing with us. So for the first few, I think I'm just gonna stick with the flute and acoustic guitar, and maybe the singing bowl if you feel so inspired. I know it might be hard to do that and the flute at the same time, so.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah. And then, I will bring in the electric guitar and the accordion at some point. So, I think I'm probably not the only one who's, been going through some stuff this year just because of the state of the world and what things are like. So I wrote some poems to try to put things in perspective and just remind myself that not everything is terrible. So I hope that those are some nice ones to open with. So the first one I'm going to read is called Mantras for Unprecedented Times. I will not allow hate to harden my heart. I will not allow fear to crystallize in my chest, its prisms radiating rays of pain outward. I will not close my eyes to shield them from the truth of anyone else's suffering. I will not withdraw from the world to avoid pain. I will strive to be a shelter in the storm. I will not allow conflict to divide me from my chosen family. I will always remain open to sincere reconciliation. We are the only home we have in this world. I will not allow myself to be destroyed without protest. I will not break beneath the heaviness of history. I will honor those ancestors who fought against injustice until their dying breaths. I will not fade into obscurity. I will not allow those I cherish to be lost to time. I will not allow those who have harmed us to disappear from living memory. I will not allow myself to lose sight of what matters. I will not forget to rest, to sit in sacred silence, to be still. I will not forget to revel in the joy of this fragile gift of life, to celebrate the miracle of my existence. I will remember that nothing ever stays the same. I will remember that no moment is forever. I will hold close the certainty that everything, yes, everything, must one day end. Except for love. Love is eternal. This next poem is called Unraveling. Your ancestors suffered. This is not your fault. Your ancestors caused suffering. This is not your fault. Your ancestors sold slaves, and your ancestors were enslaved. This is not your fault. Your ancestors built alliances and tribes. This is not your fault. Your ancestors waged war. This is not your fault. Your ancestors conquered and were conquered. This is not your fault. Your ancestors lived. Your ancestors loved. Your ancestors killed. Your ancestors died. This is not your fault. The world is cruel. This is not your fault. The world is kind to some and not to others. This is not your fault. The sun still burns, and the earth still turns, and the stars will shine long after all of us have died. This is not your fault. You have inherited a legacy of trauma encoded into your molecular makeup. This is not your fault. Sometimes you struggle to know where you end and the edges of history begin. This is not your fault. You are not responsible for unwriting the past. It has already been written. But you are responsible for the story of you. Oh, yes, I know you suffer, and this is not your fault. But when your heart bleeds onto everyone around you, when you yearn to make others ache as you have ached, when your shaking hands strike at the shadows to fend off the ghosts that haunted your ancestors, what blame are you grasping? Wrapping around yourself, tight as a cocoon, dark as a crypt, holding all the weight of your anguish, drawing it so close that it becomes like a second skin? And why? Why do you want so badly for what is wrong with the world to finally be your fault? And then for this last one, I think using the singing bowl will be nice. So this one is called Homecoming. Slow down. No. Slower. No. Slower than that. My dear, you were not made for infinite growth, for unrestrained energy, for unceasing production, for unthinking consumption. And you were not made to live in never-ending fear, in constant anxiety, in perpetual burnout. No. You were made to feel the sunshine on your skin and the wind in your hair, to taste fresh fruit and honey, to smell the petrichor rising from the soil before a storm, to hear the crash of distant thunder and your own heartbeat rolling through the sky. You were made for the sound of your laughter to echo in the twilight, for your arms to embrace everyone and everything you love, and for your eyes, your heart, your soul to weep when grief comes calling, and to know that this is only another name for devotion. You were made to rest when you need rest, to close your eyes when they are heavy, so that you can finally allow yourself to dream. Slow down. Yes, like that. Feel each inch of your body, the inside, the outside, the tangible and the ephemeral. Feel every muscle, every nerve, every bone. Yes, even where it hurts. And I am truly sorry for every part of you that aches. But my dear, please know that this flesh is not your prison. No. Slow down and feel and sense and know that you are home. And now we're gonna just get to the poems that are the ancestral trauma part of the evening. I think for this one, maybe we can try the electric guitar and the accordion. I just think that might be fun. And it's Father's Day, and this is about, my daddy issues, so that's the vibe.
I feel like if you think of something that will fit the vibe, I'm happy to have anybody else jump in.
This is what's you when you're in there mostly. I usually fall in D.
Okay.
But
Be something D minor. Whatever minor, that'll drop my feelings.
Yeah, I think, yeah, let's do it. I love it.
No, it's so good. It's fine. I'm just commenting about.
So, my father's family is from Guatemala. We are Maya, and so this one is called Letters to Xibalba, which is the Mayan underworld. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. 500 years have come and gone. His savage legacy lives on. The cortisol within my veins still wreaks havoc on my genes. In 1964, in California, you were born. And in 2017, you died at only 53. And yes, I wish you could have seen the son that I was becoming. I wish you knew my real name. I wish you knew my aging face. I wish you knew my deepened voice, and that I did not have a choice. I wish you knew my calloused hands, and wish that you could understand how hard I've worked to be a man. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. He had no map, he had no plan. He only knew to look for land he could exploit and he could steal, and people he could force to kneel. In 1523, Alvarado brought his infantry, and though our grandmothers survived, his conquest changed your fate and mine. Our Spanish blood at war within, our Maya tongues, our Maya skin. In 1985, you gave to me the spark of life, and in 1986, I gave you fatherhood, but this, no one could prepare you for in 5 bloody centuries of war. I wish you knew I understand. No one taught you how to be a man. Well, not to be one that was good, or taught you what a father should be like. I know you did your best, and that you did not have a choice. I wish I'd known your gentle voice. I wish I'd known your nerves at rest. I wish I'd heard your history, or ever felt your generosity. I wish I'd met that Maya boy conquistadors tried to destroy. I wish I knew your aging face. I wish I knew your aging face. I wish I knew your aging face. If I could cross the Milky Way, defeat the lords of death and pain, perhaps I'd find you in the dark and whisper to your wounded heart and tell you that we are the same, and you could know my real name. In 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. And in 2025, my blood is yours, and yours is mine. And your genetic legacy lives on and on and on in me. And these other ones are like, same kind of subject matter, but they're a lot more lighthearted, so.
How happy and sad, fast, slow you want
Happier, maybe a little bit faster, more upbeat. And I've got like 3 in that general vibe that are a little bit shorter.
This next one is called Birthright.
Are we ready to go? Okay, great.
Okay, this one is called Birthright. Can you feel it pound within you? That's the drumbeat of the earth. And it's calling to you, saying to come home. Back to your flesh and blood. back to your bone and marrow, back to the endless spiral, your ancestral legacy, burned into your cells and your genetic memory. Can you hear it pound within you? That's the heartbeat of the cosmos, and it's calling to you, saying to come home. Back to those holy relics burned deep within your cells, each atom consecrated like a shrine. Back to your human body in all its fragile beauty, to your ferocious heart, so delicate and so divine. This next one is called, well, the next two are about my boyfriend who's right here, and I'm sorry, he's on the spot. But yeah, this next one is called Encantacion. Plant your roots inside my soil, love, and we can grow ourselves a home. Leafy tendrils intertwining, growing stronger than the whims of wind and water, drought and downpour, sun and moon and starlight shining, until each force of nature hums, mystery and might combining. Into magic so eternal, the night will always know our names. Plant your roots inside my soil, love, and for this season, we can bloom. This next one is called Love After the Conquest. I want to love you like our ancestors, to mold you in my hands like masa dough, to wrap you like a fresh banana leaf, and fill you with the breath of life and blood of gods, and bring your ancient soul to being. I want to love you like our ancestors, the cloth of us stretched on an ancient loom, our practiced pattern laid out thread by thread, each fiber cast so delicately spun, an armor to the onslaught of the world. I want to love you like our ancestors, each moment in your arms a sacred rite, no blasphemies between us ever voiced, to worship at the altar of our home, each meal and chore a tender sacrament. I want to love you like our ancestors, constructing monuments of solid stone, each shadow falling in precise relief, so we might know the movements of the sun and learn in time's long arc where we belong. I want to love you like our ancestors, to see the earth with knowing native eyes, to speak each word with living native tongue, to love with singing steadfast native hearts that course with still enduring native blood. How am I doing on time?
Well, let me check. Well, like I said, so we had somebody that canceled at the last minute. So let me just take.
It's at 18 minutes right now.
Okay, I'd say like you could do like 2 more.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. I probably about 5 to 7 minutes.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, so these ones are, I would say, like, queer and defiant. Amazing.
This one is called A Poem for All the Boys I've Yet to Love. These last two I actually read last time I was here in September, so some of you might have heard them before. When my eyes drift closed at night, I dream of brown boys. Boys with skin, the shades of sand and soil, with eyes dark and deep as the night sky. Our fingers locked together like ancient roots, intertwined in a delicate dance. Still fresh scars arching tight across the contours of our chests to show each expert cut endured beneath the world's razor-sharp scalpel. Hearts fluttering beneath our battered rib cages, pummeled by pressure from all sides, but still daring to hope. When I'm alone, I picture rainbows of voice, spectrums of earthy hue, the quiet endurance of mahogany and chestnut, cinnamon and cedar beneath my calloused hands, the sharp tang of copper and brass and rust as I breathe the oxygen we share, the sweetness of coffee, caramel, and chocolate melting on my tongue, glittering hints of gold and honey, gilding the edges of this space that we have painstakingly carved, just for this brief, eternal moment as the boundaries of our bodies disappear. And when they kiss me, nothing matters, and everything does. And when our eyes meet, I know they see me instead of staring through me. And when they speak my language, no one playing translator in the gathering dusk or breaking dawn. And when they hold me, the world finally seems kind. And when they bend beneath my body, when they sigh into my mouth, and when their impossibly strong frames and impossibly soft skin shudder against me, against all probability and protective logic, still willing to yield, inviting me inside, I wonder to myself, what will blossom when these seeds we've planted finally burst into bloom? When I close my eyes at night, I dream of boys with bodies that feel like home. Then I have one more, and I just want to give a trigger warning because I wrote this right after the Club Q shooting in Colorado Springs, so it deals with some heavy topics, but I think ultimately it's uplifting, but it touches on gun violence, so if you need to do something else for a few minutes, that's totally fine. This one is called My Queer Living Will. It's 2022, and this is America. The chances of dying in a mass shooting may be low, but they're never zero. And if one day some man with a gun snaps, if I'm finally in the wrong place at the wrong time, if someone guns me down in some misguided play for glory, or a desperate attempt to commit suicide by cop, if I end up one more number on a spreadsheet, one more photo at a vigil, one more name among dozens at this year's T-Door, if I die in a hail of bullets, please, Jesus or Allah or Buddha or whoever is out there, all I ask is this: let me die in a gay bar. Let me die in a gay bar, surrounded by the drag queens and the aging dandies, and the punks and the goths and the grown-up emo kids, after we clock out of our thankless corporate 9-to-5s, after days pacing up and down city streets begging for signatures, after fleeing retail hell, after our shifts slinging smiles for tips, and after our days being told our worth is tied to our ability to produce. After we've done our best to try to change the world, just a little, just for one day, for the better, let me die, surrounded by the queers and the misfits and the kinksters. Let me die, surrounded by leather daddies and twinks. Let me die, surrounded by butches and lipstick lesbians. Excuse me. Let me die, surrounded by trans masks and trans femmes, and envies and gender queers and two-spirits. Let me die surrounded by the bis, and the pans, and the aces, and every other label that gets glossed over or forgotten. Let me die surrounded by the trannies, the faggots, and the dykes. Let me die surrounded by every homophobic slur and cliche that has ever been thrown at us. Because we have always been here, and we will not go back into the closet quietly. We will not disappear, and we will not be made invisible or small or afraid ever again. Let me die in my home away from home, because at the end of the day, all we have is each other. Let me die surrounded by my friends, my family, my allies, by all of my past and present and potential loves. Let me die remembering Marcia and Sylvia on the steps of Stonewall. Let me die in an explosion of gender, a conflagration of joy, a blaze of love and community and hope and resilience. Let me die beneath a pride flag, chin held high and fists pounding the air, because these colors do not fucking run. They say silence equals death, so God, please don't let me die quietly. Let me die defiant, locking eyes with my murderer so he can see I've survived so much worse than anything his bullets can do to me. And I am not afraid to die after what I have managed to live through already. Not here, not now. Not if I die in a gay bar. If I die, don't mourn me at my funeral. Let my funeral be a celebration, a rave bursting with rainbows and glitter. Let me hear my friends and family fill the church with laughter, echoing off every stained glass window, every pulpit, every pew. Let my funeral be filled with love and joy. Because today, yes, we mourn our dead. But tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that, we fight like hell for the living. Thank you so much, everyone. And I do have some zines that you can purchase later if you'd like. So just approach me if you'd like to get one of those. Thank you for having
Do you
me.
want to just like make it something here where you can display them?
Yeah.